Today, we're going to be looking at using Carrd and MemberSpace to launch and sell a digital magazine with a monthly and annual subscription, all from a Carrd site and MemberSpace as our page protecting platform. So, just to start, this is the basic site that I've set up. We're looking at Bookish. It's a digital magazine for bibliophiles or people that love books. What we can see, it's a simple Carrd site. It's only essentially one page with a couple of sections. So we're going to start by looking at what our Carrd site setup is and how that will allow us to protect the pages where our digital magazine PDFs will be downloaded from. So I've clicked on Get the Latest Issue, and you can see that that's taken us to our pricing page, which has our monthly and annual plans laid out. These buttons don't connect to anything yet. And from here, we can either go back to the home page. Again, we go latest edition to get back to where we just were, or we can go to the archive to see any previous editions and get caught up. So what we would like to protect are two pages, our latest edition, right? So this is our February 2022 edition about emerging young writers. When we click this download button, we'll want our logged in users only to be able to download the digital magazine. And we also want to protect our archive or our previous editions, whereby when a user clicks on each of these editions, they'll be able to download that previous edition and view it, but only if they have a subscription. So those are the pages that we want to protect. And with Carrd, because Carrd is a single page website builder, let's head into the backend and see how we've created these separate pages. So what we can see here in our backend Carrd builder is a layout of all of our pages consecutively, and they're just divided by sections. So you can see here that this first section, anything above the pricing section is considered our home section. In the pricing section are our monthly and annual prices. And then in the latest edition section, we have our latest edition. And lastly, we have an archive section. Each of these sections has a unique URL. So if I click into, for instance, archive, we can see here that this section break is named archive, and the unique URL is actually our Carrd site, #archive. So that's going to allow us to protect this specific page in MemberSpace. If you need to create new sections, all we would do is click the Add Element button. We'll click Control, and that will bring us a new section break. So you could have different types of controls: section break, header marker, footer, scroll point. We want to just add a section break. And then we could essentially give that section break a new URL path after that hashtag. So I'll click done here and I'll just undo that. And that's how we create different sections, or essentially that's how we create different pages from a single page site in Carrd. This page was built from a template. So if I head back to our Carrd dashboard, we can go to New Site, and you can click any starting point that makes sense for you and your project from a host of templates available in Carrd. Great. So now that we've seen how we can use sections to essentially create different URL paths and different pages in Carrd, next we'll head on over to MemberSpace and get set up there so that we can begin the process of protecting our archive page and our latest edition page. In this video, we're going to set up our member pages using MemberSpace. Once you've created an account with MemberSpace, you should see this page. It will allow you to enter your website address. So this is the URL of our Carrd site. We have selected that our platform is Carrd, that we've built our website on. There are a number of other platforms that MemberSpace has built documentation for and integrations with, but we are using Carrd, so we'll select that. And then we can just add in our site name. So once that's done, great. If we click into our site, we can now create our member plans. You will be prompted to connect to your Stripe account. I've already connected to my Stripe account, So once you've completed that connection and integration with Stripe, you can now proceed to this step. You don't need a Stripe account if your member plans are going to be free or if you're just going to have a free plan. But if you are going to have paid plans, then you will need a Stripe account to integrate with MemberSpace. So we'll do a recurring payment plan. This is going to be our monthly plan. And this is going to be $9. And the interval is every 1 month. And we won't choose a billing date. There's no free trial or sign up fee. We'll go tax free for now. But of course, you can select any options that you need for your project. After members sign up, we want to send them to the latest edition. So we're going to add that URL to the path here, or sorry, that path to the URL. And after login, same thing. We're going to send our users to the latest edition. And we can enable this plan and make it public. Great. Let's add a second plan for our annual plan. So we'll go back to create member plans. Again, this is going to be a recurring plan, and we'll make this the annual plan. And this is going to be our $49 per year plan. So this will renew every 1 year, and all the settings will keep the same. And again, we'll go to the latest edition here. Autofill is very handy, and we'll create this plan. Great, so now we have our monthly and our annual plans available in MemberSpace, and we have those sign-up links. So we'll get the sign-up link here for our monthly, copy that, and now we can go back into Carrd and paste that into our monthly button. So we're back into our Carrd site. We have our Get Started monthly button, and we'd like the URL to be our member plan. And we can just copy the URL for the annual plan now. And click done. So now our members should be able to sign up for our monthly and annual plan. We'll need to save and publish. And we're just publishing to our carrd.co URL. Now that we have copied and pasted our member plans to our Get Started buttons, in the next video, we'll look at adding our member pages to MemberSpace. In this video, we're going to look at using MemberSpace's member pages to protect the specific sections of our Carrd site, our latest edition section, and our archive section, so that only logged in and paid members will be able to view those two sections. So let's click member pages here, and we'll see that MemberSpace has let us know that because Carrd websites don't have pages, so to speak, we can use data attributes to show or hide our different sections. So if we navigate to this link and open up the documentation, we can see here that MemberSpace has outlined how to use data attributes with Carrd. So what we're going to want to do is use this data attribute, the data ms hide auth. So I'll copy that in and we'll head back over to Carrd. So we're going to want to protect the container that we have inside our latest edition section. So if I click in here, we can see that we have a container that is containing our download button of our latest edition. So let's protect this entire container so that only our logged in users will be able to see this. So if we click into that container, we navigate to settings, we can add that attribute. So we'll add that attribute. So we want this hidden unless the user is authorized. So we'll click done. Next, we are going to do the same thing for our archive section here. So again, we'll click into that container and we're already in, I'll just double check that we're in the right container, yes. And in settings here, we're going to add the same attribute. So we'll click done and we will save and publish again. That we've added both of our data attributes to our two containers within our sections, to the archives and the latest edition sections and containers. In the next video, we're going to look at using the customize section of MemberSpace to customize our member login experience and sign up experience, as well as embed our MemberSpace code snippet into our Carrd site so that everything actually works. Our digital magazine content. In this video, we're going to look at adding some customization to MemberSpace, so our sign up and login flows and feel, as well as adding our custom embed code into Carrd so that everything works smoothly. So let's click Customize. And first up, we'll look at the general options here. We don't want to manually approve members. We like them to be approved automatically. A lot of this has been filled out and completed by default, so feel free to update any of these settings for your project. But for us, we will send members without access back to the home page. And once members log out, they'll also be sent back to the home page. In terms of cancellation options, we'll keep the defaults here as well. We can keep the localization options as well, and we'll actually just change our default currency to US dollars. So we can click Save Changes, and that has been updated and reflected. We can add our notification options, and we can select whether we'd like to receive emails when someone creates an account before they pay or when a member's plan expires. We'll just keep the defaults here so that we'll be notified when a member joins the plan and when a member cancels the plan. Great, let's head back into Customize. And in terms of look and feel, so this is what our login option will look like. And we can also look at our sign up options. We have first name, last name. We'd like them to confirm their email and add a password. All of that looks great. We can see what our payment will look like, as well as if they forgot their password, and every variation of pop-up with the account information, sign up, login, and how everything will look once our integration is complete. Great, so all of that looks good. Let's click Next Setup Step. And here's where we will want to embed our code into Carrd. So let's copy this. We'll head back into Carrd. And we're going to add an element to our page. We're going to add an embed element, and it's going to be code, and we'll put this as our MemberSpace integration. And we will inject that code, and instead of inline, let's leave this hidden. So it is a hidden embed code now on our site, and we want to put this in the head. Great. So let's click Done, and we will save and publish. Let's test this out and see if our links and attributes are working. So we're just going to refresh our page. Great, so that actually had a page open that we weren't supposed to have access to, and I refreshed it and it's kicking us out. So I'm going to abandon the sign up so we can go back to the home page, and if I click Get the Latest Edition, that takes us to our monthly and annual sign up, where I can click Get Started, and that's going to load up our sign up flow. So first name, last name, email, and password here. We're going to abandon that sign up as well. Same with the annual plan, right? So that's working, which is great. And now if I click Archive, oh, it looks like we still can see our archive container here. So let's check in and make sure that our attribute is correct. So instead of hide, let's do show, and we'll save and publish that change. Great, so now when we click archive, we're not able to see that container or section at all. So we had just an edit to the attribute there. Instead of hide, it should be show. So let's go back into Carrd, and let's also make that update with our section here for our latest edition. So we're going to only show this if the user is authorized. Great, so we'll go to our latest edition again, and we will go to the archive, and that's not popping up, which is great. That's as expected. And again, if we click latest edition, that's also blank, and we can go back and navigate to home and back to our pricing page. Awesome, so everything is looking like it's working as expected in terms of our hidden pages and that functionality. In the next video, we're going to add our actual PDFs, our actual magazine content into MemberSpace so that when we click on those download buttons and we click on those images in the archive, that we're also able to access that as a logged in user. Working. Next, we want to add our digital magazine to MemberSpace, our PDFs for each of our editions. So we'll navigate to Member Pages, and we're going to click on Manage Content Links here. Next, we'll add content links, and we're going to click to upload or drag files. So I've uploaded our 5 magazine mockups here, and next we want to edit the access for each of them. So once we've clicked into edit access, we can see the title, we can see when we want the content to be available for our user. So immediately, as soon as somebody subscribes and they've paid for their subscription, we want this content to be available, and they can download the content when clicked, and we would like both annual and monthly members to get access. So I'll click update now, and I'll just go through that step, that last step for each of these. Great, and we'll just leave the titles as they are. For now, it's internal use, so members won't see that title anyway. And we'll click update now. And so we've edited the access for all 5 of those issues, and we can click done uploading. Great, so now we have all of our links. So we'll go to this first one. Let's click that link. And it's not even going to let us see it because we don't have a login or sign up created yet as a test account. So we'll close that. So that's working well. We'll copy that link though for the first edition mockup, and let's head back into Carrd. So we'd like our first edition mockup to be attached to this download button here for our latest edition. So under the URL, we'll add in that content. And next, for each of our other editions, we want to put them into the archive here, into our gallery. So for January here, we'll head back and copy our links from MemberSpace. Great, so I've gone ahead and copied in the links for each of our issues, our previous editions in our archive. So we'll click done, and we will save and publish. Great, we'll just refresh our site. And if we click into latest edition, this should take us to our sign up page. If we go to the archive, right, we can't see that either, and we still can't see latest edition. So we need to create a test account to be able to see the latest edition and make sure that our archive as well, all of our PDFs are available for viewing. So what we'll do is we will add a member plan, a free plan. And we'll want to head to our latest edition. And for now, we will make this plan public just so that we can sign up and test our flow. Let's head over to members, and essentially let's invite ourselves as a free member. Great, so I've been sent a link by email to accept the invite for the free plan, and I'll just create a password here. And accept the invitation. Great, so we'll click join now and access the content. And now we can see that our latest edition is available. However, I believe we need to update our links in MemberSpace. Let's head back into MemberSpace, and under our content links, we're going to edit all of these and add plan access. And we want to make sure that all plans have access. So we'll update that. And the selected plans now have access. So we head back into our site and just refresh here. So I can see that from the home page, I can get to the latest edition. I've already signed up. So if I go to the archive, let's see if I click on any of these editions. Great, so our magazine downloaded. Let's see if we can get all of our editions here. Perfect, so those are looking good. If we go to our latest edition and click download, we can get our latest edition as well. And we can open up our digital magazine, and we can see that we have our digital magazine available to us. So with MemberSpace, you have the ability to add a lot of customization. As you can see, the Your Account button shows up here in the bottom right corner. We can customize that as well. We can update any of the PDFs and links. So as I have a new edition, I would just edit this button right here in Carrd to add that new PDF as the latest edition. And in Carrd, I would just add the current edition into the archive with a thumbnail, and again, adding a link into MemberSpace. Awesome. We've learned how to launch and sell a digital magazine using Carrd and MemberSpace. We can't wait to see what you build next.